Okay, so this is the third and last in this how I make my arrows series here. As last time I have made the pre-made the cut for the knock, and this time we will use this thing. I have put it to fit a 8mm shaft, at least as close as I could get without actually gluing on a feather, so we will see, but it should be there. Shouldn't be far off anyway. So let's start out again by putting on the field tip. You could also do this with a knife, but I'm not used to it, just like so many other things, and those times I have tried to do it, I have not been very happy with the results, so I'm not gonna do that. And now we are ready to put on the feathers. So as I have said in the video where I showed this, I put that in, and one feather, one feather, one feather. So they should have the same amount of space between them and be pretty straight on, and I will use this clip that is put on there with magnets, and that will hold on the arrow. I keep calling it arrows, I mean feathers. I don't know why I always call them arrows. And then we have the feathers, and we start, see, it's on there, so we put it in here, and I like to get them all the way to the end, but you can put them where you want in this thing. And push it to the end there, and then we put on the glue. Carefully, so that didn't happen, damn it. The glue went to the plastic, so now it's gonna be a little bit harder to get it off of the arrow, or the feather. I keep calling it arrows. Alright, there. Now we just wait a couple of seconds, and then it should be stuck on the wood enough for me to take the thing here off. Okay, it is stuck onto, come on, without taking the feather with it. There we go. That was my mistake, because I accidentally put some glue on this as well, so I'm just gonna run my fingers through here and get the glue off. Let's see the result here. It's pretty straight on. I hope I can show you that. Pretty straight on. Oops, I knocked over the glue. So now we are going to put the other two on. So we're just gonna go there. Now we put another feather in here. You can also make something similar yourself. If I remember it, I will leave a link for a video of a homemade version of these. I don't have one yet. I do want to try and make one though. Oh, let's push down a little bit too much. Ah, shoot. There's glue on the side of it. That means there's glue in this as well. Well, that can dry a little bit while we use this one instead. I have tried where the feather actually are fully glued to this clamp here, and it's not easy to get off without ripping it off of the shaft as well. So be careful when you put the glue on. Well, that's easy to say and hard to do. Alright, feather 2. Give that a couple of seconds and then we can take that off. So that's actually quite easy to do this, as you can see. The hard part is not to glue the feather onto the clamp. Let me see here. Okay, it's stuck onto the feather right about that. Oh, damn it. This is not good. Here we have one of those problems I said. Okay, I have to get down here and hold on to it. And if I'm lucky, the glue is still wet enough for me to put it on here. More or less straight. That's the problem, when you first get glue on this, you kind of have to let it dry, but we'll get there. I haven't used this thing here for years. I just got it last Christmas, so I don't really make tons of arrows here and there, so I'm still more or less getting used to this, and I'm just cleaning up the glue from the plastic here. Now let's see if we can get this one on, the last one. We had a couple of problems, but we do have our feathers onto the shaft, so not too bad. See if we can try not to get glue on this time. And I already messed that up. One end is straight, and that means it's easier to put on the other end here manually. It's not supposed to be that hard. It's because of this. It's hard to put the glue on, but I guess it's more used to use this fletching tape, but I honestly don't, as I've said, I don't really like that tape, so I use glue, and I think that's why this is getting a little bit hard. But anyway, we have our feathers. Let me just take a look. Even with our problems, this actually went pretty well. Pretty straight on. If you compare that to the one we made, was it this one or this one? Yeah, this one we made freehand in the first of these videos. See how bad that is. And this one we made in the vise, a bit better, but still not perfect. Even though we had some trouble using this, it was still better. So now the last thing to do is, of course, to put a drop of glue in each end of each feather to finish off. And I also want to say, if anyone wonder how many of these arrows I can make in an hour, I will be able to make, when I don't have the camera on, of course, and have to show everything, using either this one or the vise, I can make about, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 arrows in 1 hour, when I'm just going to make a bunch of them. I have once done it with 10 arrows, and it is possible to make about 8 or 10 arrows in 1 hour. So that was 3 ways to make the arrows. It is pretty much the same way to do it, except of course different helping tools here, but most of it is the same. Another thing I forgot to mention is the length of the shafts for me is between 80 and 85 centimeters. That gives me enough to even overdraw my arrows, but the bow, I normally don't do that, but I have the opportunity to do it just with a few centimeters, so that that's the length I make. So I think that's all I have to say in this video, and I will be making a video shooting with these three and see how they do. Thanks.